The belief in life after death is what all religions are all about. This belief gives us comfort that one day after we die, we can reunite ourselves to our loved ones. It also promises us to have a better life after we die if we have fulfilled certain conditions or laws, commandments before we die. And these preconditions are the things we strive to serve while living. But what if a person die and have not met this precondition to have a better life in the next life? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Wherever you are in the world, I am Aghama and I welcome you once again to another episode of Lair or Luntiang Aghama Internet Radio, where we are your gateway to the future. Lair is a media ministry production of Luntiang Aghama Natural Divine Art Shine of Healing Incorporated that is located at Barangay Francisco Narra, which is in the rising city of San Jose del Monte in the land of the heroes, province of Bulacan, Philippines. Lair is a podcast internet radio made through Anchor.fm and is widely distributed to Apple's Podcast, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. And with that, may I invite you to a moment of silence as we pray for peace. So let us now pray. There is one power in the universe, and we are the perfect manifestation of that power. And for as such, we pray for peace. We pray for peace, we pray for love, and we pray for stability. We pray that all the people around the world to embrace peace. Peace that promotes justice. Justice that follows discipline and orderliness. Discipline and orderliness as a result of understanding. Understanding as a product of knowledge. And knowledge as a fruit from the seed of love. O great Supreme Divine Spirit, we come before you and ask you to bless us, your children, with courage. Courage that makes love and peace to overcome all forms of evil, fear, hatred, terror, violence, warfare, and warriors around the world. By the power of love that gives us life, may peace prevails on earth. May all the people around the world be blessed with peace. May all the inhabitants of Mother Earth enjoy the blessings of love as we create and manifest this in our life by our unified will, with aiming harm to no one, and in full gratitude to the divine, we accept and receive this. And it is so, so mote it be. Mayari na pag-asatin. Life is what characterizes our existence. With life, we move, we grow, and we expand. And when life ends, death comes and brings us to the afterlife. Afterlife is a place where the souls go when we die. In Philippine indigenous spirituality, especially in the Katagalugan region, indigenous people believe that the soul of the dead will either go to Maka, which is the paradise, and the other is called Kasanaan, or a place of retribution for all the souls of the dead who did not meet the condition in order to enter the paradise. This both dwelling place of the souls can be found in the underworld, where Bathala is the sole ruler of Maka, which is the soul's paradise, while Kasanaan is ruled by Sitan, which is the joint head of Bathala in administering the activities of Inkasanaan. Whereas the Kalwalatian is which is in the sky world is the dwelling place of Bathala, who is known to be the ruler of the king of the Diwata. These are the belief system of the Tagalog people when it comes to the afterlife. But what do our ancestors do to help our departed loved ones to cross over to the afterlife? When a person died, the family prepares the body of their loved one so that lamay or vigil can be observed. Paglalamay or funeral vigil allow the living people, especially for the relatives of the deceased, to pay final respect and grieve for the loss of their loved ones. Grieving, mourning, or wailing is a natural human response when we are in deep sadness. It allows us to release all negative emotions that we carry in our heart, such as fear, worry, and even loneliness itself. It is a moment that is most beneficial for the living rather than the dead. Though in some tradition, it teaches that grieving, mourning, and wailing helps the soul of the deceased to cross over to the afterlife, as it washes all the pain and sorrow that it experienced while still living in the living world. Such as observing the lamay, people gather around with relatives to share the stories of their memories to the life of their departed loved ones. The stories that been told at the funeral wake are the good memories of that person, which give impact to the life of an individual whom the person died have interacted. This storytelling and recollection of good memories of the deceased loved one helps the soul to pass through the veil gracefully, as there are beliefs that only good souls could pass through the other world and enter paradise. The good stories that been told will serve as a fair ticket of the soul to enter the afterlife paradise. As a living individual who have attended funeral wake, I never encountered people telling bad stories in the life of a deceased individual. Even when you live as a bad person in life, there is someone who will tell a story that you are good. And those people are the one that been touched by the deceased individual and made a positive impact to them. During the funeral wake, we can usually hear words of regrets coming from different people who are paying their last respect to the deceased individual, especially regrets that comes from family members or relatives. Such regrets from the people attending the funeral wake, especially from family member, relative, and friends, will become a reason for the soul to be reborn again. With the words of regret, it becomes a prayer for the soul that the deceased individual will come back again to continue the life they live and complete it. Some words of regrets that we hear are like, oh, that person's too young to die. Oh, that person have helped a lot of people when still alive. Or that person was not able to finish his term of service or project. That person is good looking, and so on and so forth. Aside from regrets, the worries and sympathy of the friends and relatives toward the deceased person's family also allow the soul to become an active spirit guide for the family, especially if the deceased have left young children in the living world. Most likely, all souls can be spirit guide when they pass away to the other world, but it will be still on the individual soul's decision if they are willing to take the role of a spirit guide even when they are already in the afterlife. After death of the person, the living family will arrange a 9-day prayer vigil for the dead. These prayers help the soul to be healed from the pain and sorrow that they experience while they are alive. The 9 days will also correspond to the 9 months of conception in their mother's womb, and the prayer will travel all the years in the past during the time when the deceased individual is still alive. The prayers that been said on these 9 days of devotion help fix all the wrongdoings that a person have done throughout the time of their life. it helped them to be cleansed and prepared them to their journey in the afterlife. Aside from the 9 days prayer, Filipino families observe also the 40th day of the deceased loved one. This 40 days commemoration ritual is used for the healing of the living family members, relatives, and friends to be healed from the pain and sorrow they have from the loss of their beloved departed ones. At this time, prayers are being offered to the dead that will serve as a fare to the deceased that they must use in their travel to the afterlife. The prayers also become a tool in declaring or affirming a good future for the family as well as to the future comeback of their loved ones through reincarnation. And lastly, upon the first death anniversary of the deceased, which Filipino call as Babang Luksa, which literally means end of mourning. At this time, family, relatives, and friends are celebrating new life as they end their mourning for the deceased loved ones. The 1 year adjustment period have been completed as the day of death of their deceased loved one marks a new year in their life. Usually after the end of mourning, it allows now to happen other celebration such as wedding, baptismal, and the likes. Within the mourning period, those celebrations are not allowed as they believe that it will bring bad luck. The term for that in Filipino is called sukob, or in English, it was covered. But for us, the death of an individual does not mean that life will not go on for us. Death may mean an end of life to an individual, but for the living family, relatives, and friends, this means that life must go on. Celebration of Undas, Day of the Dead, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day here in the Philippines teaches many things for us. First, life comes to us every day. Each new day that comes is a new life. It comes with our breath, our movement, and our action. Our body is the vessel of life. It is the home of our soul that makes us alive. Through life, we are able to grow and expand. And this happens when is within our body. Caring for our body and being mindful to what we put inside our body will help prolong our existence. Helping our body to shape up, allow us to move freely, and when we can act and move, for sure, our growth and progress will come. As we live our life, we are gaining experience as a result of our actions. These experiences become our knowledge, and the application of our knowledge can affect other people. And the activities we do with other people will allow memories to happen. Every day in our life, we are creating memories. Memories that can be good or bad. Our action toward other people can make an effect. An affection means effect of our actions. But what kind of actions are we making? And that is the one that will be stored in the memories of the people that surrounds you and will be remembered by them. Good and bad are societal norm. It is just a human gauge of what seems pleasing to the individual. But in our life right now, who are still living, having your own pleasure must not become a channel so that other people will be harmed. Or giving pleasure to other people must not harm you as well. Do the things that will make you and other people happy. Or simply like in our prayer that says, harm no one. And when the day has come, when death comes to fetch you, with all the good memories you have created while living this world, you may say now to that, I am ready. I will come. But now, as a question and parting words for everyone, what kind of memory are you leaving behind for your loved one? In this episode, we have shared to you the importance of prayer and its effect to one's soul. As our body eats food to sustain and maintain our body, the food for our soul is prayer. Our mindful action and movement while we are alive leave marks to human mind that becomes memory for them of us. Our actions are being engaged by other people through its effect to them, if it is pleasing or not. While living, as much as possible, we avoid to do harm or to be harmed, and that may tell that life should be experienced by everyone in peace, and not to experience peace only in death. And this will be all for today. And I pray that our today's topic have touched your interest and can make a change in your life. If you have some questions, comment, suggestions, and prayer requests, please do not hesitate to send me an email at apoadman@luntiangagama.org or at luntiangagama@gmail.com. For more information about Apo Adban, which is me, and to our shrine, you may visit our website at luntiangagama.org. We are also offering training courses, seminar, and workshop through our seminary that you can find at hilotacademy.com. And for online healing and psychic counseling services, you may check us at siadtala.godaddysites.com. So until then, may you all blessed be peace. Mayari na, pag-asatin,